Hello Libra, this is your mid-February love and romance focused reading. I know the month's kind of almost over. It's been hectic trying to get to these readings, but I'm here now, so... But anyways, jumping right in, I did also want to talk about the fact that while I was shuffling the cards, I was contemplating polyamory for some reason. So if that resonates with somebody, maybe it'll come up again in the rest of the reading, but for those of you that applies to, keep this in mind. One thing that's kind of stood out to me is the fact that at your foundation, you've got a Justice reversed. And if you notice, there is a lightning bolt coming out of his weapon and going up there. And right above this card, you had the World card. And I just thought it was kind of interesting how the lightning was carrying upwards into this card, the way that they were laid out. They were laid out on the table just like this. So what I was getting with that is, for some of you, maybe coming out of a relationship or coming out of a sort of persona that you held on to in your past relationships. You've let it go, you've shed the skin, and you've come full circle, and now you're ready to explore the world of relationships. And maybe that's why polyamory came up. Maybe you're feeling like, why limit myself? There's a quote by one of my favorite singers, Bjork, and she's talking about relationships, and she's talking about sex, and she's comparing it to being in an ice cream store. There's so many different flavors. Why would you just limit yourself to one flavor? There's so many flavors to try. Why not try them all? That was the way that she sort of talked about that. Now, obviously, not all of you are going to be polyamorous or have the intentions to become polyamorous, but right above the World card for you, crowning you, you have the Lady of Cups. And, that was, again, like emotional liberation, the fact that the lightning bolt was moving in this way from justice, like the end of something with the world, laying down the law, finally saying, this is it, this is how things are going to be, this is how things were, I don't want them to be that way anymore, and now, this is the way it's going to be, and I'm going to move forward with this. And then you come out and you're emotionally liberated, you're emotionally fulfilled and sound and able to act from an emotionally mature standpoint. And as the bridge card between you and your partner, you do have the Empress. I'll kind of get back to that in a second, but for your partner, or for your potential partner, they have the Lord of Cups reversed at their heart. So it's almost like this person that is either coming into your life or is already in your life and in a relationship with you, whatever the case may be, is in the very similar point of being in that emotionally mature place, but it's almost like they're being sort of fixed with it. Like in the same way that you might have laid down the law and say, this is the way things are going to be, da-da-da-da. You're still open and flexible with it, but it's almost like this person isn't retaining that same mentality about it. Like for an analogy that might apply for some people, I don't know, is maybe one partner is feeling adventurous, feeling open to polyamory, being open to the idea of an open relationship, and the other person is kind of like, no, I don't think we should do that. I don't feel comfortable with that. It could also be, for those of you that aren't partnered, it could be maybe a sense of feeling like, how do I put this? Maybe your idea of what a relationship should be has changed completely, and the partners that you seem to have attracted into your life in the past kind of contradict the revelation that you seem to have had about relationships. The inward shift that you've made is contrary to all of your past relationships, and also the types of people that you still seem to be attracting into your life. Your values are different, your beliefs are different. Maybe you have a more flexible approach to commitment. Not necessarily polyamorous. I know that keeps coming up, but it could be that somebody wants to be married and the other person is like, no, I don't want to be institutionalized, For some of you, it could also be a person who has come into your life who seems to be emotionally unavailable. They're pouring their focus and their energy into pursuits regarding work, but it's almost like it's not genuine, like they're doing it as a way to escape from something else. They have the Hermit card reversed, crowning them, and it's kind of interesting because he's pointing, from this perspective, he's pointing down, and right beneath him you have the Lord of Cups reversed, and he's also pointing down, and it's pointing to the 8 of Jade, or the 8 of Pentacles. So this is kind of what I'm getting, a sort of ingenuine pulling away, an ingenuine sort of attempt to be alone, attempt at solitude. It's maybe more in the sense that they're afraid of commitment with you. I know that's already come up in a different way earlier, but they could be avoiding the commitment by trying to make it seem like they're busy doing things. Whatever that means. Maybe you want to date this person, and this person's kind of like, oh, I can't come on the date today. I've got work to do. I've got a project to finish. I've got family things, whatever the case may be. It's like somebody is being blown off a little bit. And I'm getting the sense it's because of a sort of intimidation that's going on. This person is intimidated by the fact that that you've made this complete transformation in yourself, that you've made this shift, that you've come to this new understanding. You're just radiating and oozing with this sense of confidence in yourself and newfound recognition of the fact that you are a powerful and capable person, and you want somebody who is also going to reflect that in their own way. Like, in the same way that you can be the empress, you want your emperor, you want your king, or, obviously, not everybody that's watching this is going to be... Just disregard the whole gender thing for a minute, okay? It's almost like this person is afraid of the power that you possess, or is afraid maybe of the sort of energy that you're bringing in, this exciting and this fertile and this deep, passionate energy that you're bringing in. They're kind of like, whoa, I feel a little bit dominated, a little bit intimidated, and they're maybe a little bit too proud to give in to the relationship, so to speak. Like they feel like they have to give up their power in order to be with you, or something stupid like that. But you're kind of the mindset that you're like, no, I'm in my power, I want you to be in your power, and I want, two whole and complete minds and hearts to just come together and see what comes of it. I don't want you to surrender your power. I don't want you to come to me as a servant. We need to come together as equals. And so you're kind of like sitting there like, okay, waiting on you. And this other person's like, sorry, I got other things to do. For some of you, it could also be that for those of you that are single and don't really have a prospective partner lined up, it's It could be that you've been a little bit too antisocial lately. You haven't really been going out and doing things so much, or maybe you haven't really been as open in social situations as you could be. You know, going back to the Hermit card. And so what's being asked of you is to, I'm getting like a, I don't know, stop being a wallflower and, you know, start being the party animal or something. Not literally, you know, just put yourself out there a little bit, and maybe you're the person that's constantly blowing people off and saying, no, I got work to do, I can't really hang out right now, I've got something else to do, and instead you just go home and eat a tub of ice cream by yourself. You know, you've got good things to offer. You've got, again, like I was saying, you're in a good place right now to welcome a relationship into your life if that's what you want. So if you want it, then, you know, why not go for it? Why not do it? Going back to the polyamory thing, earlier when I was talking about that and I looked at this card, it was sort of in a sense that, you know, these cups are your different lovers, and, you know, you're in a state of feeling like you're overflowing with love and appreciation and sexiness, and you're feeling good about everything because, you know, you've discovered that your happiness isn't dependent on, I guess, a commitment or any one person alone. You know, you've discovered the fact that, you know, the true fulfillment comes from within first and foremost, but also, you know, you're sampling from different sources. You know, like a well-rounded diet, you have to have a variety. You have to have, you know, obviously your vegetables and your sources of protein and fats and carbohydrates, you know, all those sorts of things. And you get them from different sources. You're not going to get everything you need from one source, and if you do, it's probably going to be a little strange, and your body's not going to like it so much, and it might lead to some problems down the line, like with the case of protein shakes or whatnot. You know, they're good for some things, but you can't live off of them. It's just, your body's just going to say no to you. So, you know, I hope that analogy kind of made sense. For those of you that are in a relationship, you know, it could kind of go back to what I was saying earlier about you, or it could be the other way around, your partner is or are in a state of, you know, again, that emotional maturity. You've transformed emotionally, you've made some drastic realizations in yourself, and your other partner, or the other person involved, whether that's you or your partner, is not quite there yet. It's kind of doing the same old, and it's kind of driving you apart a little bit. But you have the Empress in between you guys. So what I'm getting a very, very sexual vibe from this right now. So for those of you that are partnered, you can utilize that sexual, fertile energy to form a bridge between you and bring you closer together and try to energetically bring you on equal ground for once. You know, utilize the intimacy and the vulnerability of sexuality between you as a sort of space to declare these changes or these realizations that you've made, and try to bring your partner up to speed with you. Whatever that means. I realized I went over on time, so I hope this reading helped, and I really hope this video uploads, or I'm going to be pretty upset. But, you know, whatever way it works out, it's going to work out. I wish you all the best, and take care, Libra. I'm sorry I'm cutting this kind of short.